Hey guys, I'm going to readdress this little plant drawing and push it to a more final location. I am going to show you more about integrating your pencil at this point. Okay, so I'm using edging paper. I'm gonna go in and play with pulling some things forward. Again, I'm just keeping that expressive mark making. I could also step on my paper at this point if I really wanted to have that fine-tuned detail. Now pushing it back into space, describing the texture of the items behind it. Just giving texture to the edge of my object and marrying it to the space so they become one. And I still want the space to kind of pull forward. Just gonna have shadows in the front here as it attaches to its little root stem. I'm gonna kind of freehand some value texture pockets. Maybe describe that sharpness of some moments coming off of it. This aloe plant does have some really interesting little subtle textures going on that can really help pull specificity to this object. I'm going to push some of that down with my finger, merge it to the item. I'm going to push that dark behind it again, help get a little bit of that separation back. Okay. Starting to maybe get a higher sense of reality here. So next, I'm gonna add a little bit of texture. I picked up a lighter pencil and I'm using a B to just get some enlivening moments on other pieces around it. I'm going to kind of revisit some of these connective moments with some erasure. In some places I'm carving back into the texture I just made so that they merge a little bit more. In some places I want to leave it completely untouched. Right now I'm just paying attention to detail. What is going to make that moment more realistic? Am I bringing highlight back in? Do I need to add more texture? Here you're watching me carve back into the texture I had just done. Really getting those ridges on that aloe plant a little bit better now. Okay. Checking for scale on a few of my moments. Okay. Just gonna soften some things here in the foreground. I want this plant to communicate complexity of the form, the repetition, the gesture of each little extended branch, petal, whatever you might be looking at. I'm really trying to capture that nature of that plant. So the aloe tends to be kind of spidery looking. I'm not sure what you will be looking at. So I need to capture this bit of movement here, hand in hand with that hard edge. Okay, so I might revisit my pencil again. Now I'm using somewhere around a B, an HB, and I might start to, again, touch pencil back onto moments that could come forward a little bit more. Here I'm just giving a bit of a loosely shaded edge to a skinny moment here in the front. You can help that pop in just a moment. I'm going to do the same thing for a piece next to it. Remember, I'm utilizing the shadow on the left-hand side of each little piece because the light is casting from the right to the left. So the shadow is going to naturally brace the left-hand side a bit more of that little section. I'm going to add a little bit of that textural base of that cast shadow to some pieces throughout for a little bit more connection, but I'm going to do it somewhat selectively on pieces that I want to pull forward through pencil texture. You can get a little bit more open and liberal. Maybe I want to get looser toward the edge. I'm just trying to control my level of detail. Okay. I'm going to go in now with my final touches. I'm going to start selectively getting really crispy throughout my drawing here. To do so, I'm using the kind of a thinner edge of my finger to really play off of a small mark off of my piece of paper. And I want to do this as a bit of an accent around my piece to help define an edge a little bit more, a bit of a cast shadow. It's going to help give me even more texture to my plant. I'm going to try to use this technique to make things more apparent. Where that shadow makes something more independent from the space, I'm going to use my edging technique to help that come forward a little bit more. Okay, so I hope that shows you how to get detail with some darks. I can go through selectively again and do so with my light moments if I want to continue to add that pop. I'm really focusing on where I want the viewer's eye to go, and that will help determine the way my piece is read, where I place the detail. I'm going to keep working this frontal piece just a little bit more with light, bring that edge back just a little, Trying to play with my light source coming from that left-hand side still. And I'm using the rigid geometric man-made side right now to really just grasp some more clarity in my most final state. Some of my plant is starting to emerge more specifically now. I really enjoy keeping the viewer's attention in this cluster where a lot of connections happening. Moments become a little bit more intertwined. Okay. So this is just a beginning stage of finality. I could go even further. I could keep going. Again, we haven't spent that much time on this demonstration drawing, meaning you could achieve something very similar, most likely even better than this demo, in a quicker amount of time because you have really honed in your skill set throughout the semester. I could still push this background further. There's more clarity that I could add. I could add more of that range of light by staining more powder to this upper left, pushing this back a little bit more. And in doing so, I simultaneously could pull light from the side by taking my kneaded eraser and starting to just carve open and pull a little bit of light across my drawing here. Again, I want to cast that light towards the left, which is the light source of my drawing. I'm viewing my plant in. Okay, so that ultimate light source will help me now bring back a little bit more clarity where I need it on some of those sharper edges of the aloe plant. Okay. All right, guys. Well, other than some final tweaks, this should be the process that gets you to that final state that you're really looking for. Again, I can't stress enough that it's just about layering back and forth, doing something, undoing it, going over it again, trying it once more. It just is about that game of back and forth to create a high sense of reality. The more you pull material away, the more sculptural and realistic your drawing is going to be. And just in general, the more interesting marks you're going to make because there's more history to them. We didn't achieve them all at once, all at the same time. And that shows a richness to a drawing. Okay. All right. Can't wait to see what you make. If you have any questions, if you want to see me take this drawing any further, need some technical assistance, just let me know. Okay. All right. There's the aloe demonstration very briefly. Have some fun with these drawings, guys, and look forward to seeing what you're doing. Okay.